can't be able to see. So all of you preparing for UPSC? Good, good. Freshers or you have an experience before? At least you know what is UPSC? The 3 different atoms you know? Good. I'm happy about it. Yeah. I think it works. You can put those lights also. These 2 lights also, so it becomes more clear. There is a blinking kind of thing, I believe. You can just try that as well. I think it's fine. Are we live? Yes? I think we're live, right? Yeah. So that's a very warm good evening to all my students. How are you all? Both offline as well as online students. So I am Dr. Nishanu Jimuddin, an eminent economics faculty. I have been teaching students across India for the past 10 years. This is my 11th year of teaching. I teach economy and current affairs, and it's indeed a great pleasure for me to come down all the way to Mumbai to see all of you. I'm not from Bombay again. Yeah, I'm down from South. Not from North. Anyways, it's such a great pleasure to address all the vibrant young minds, both offline as well as online. So yes, my online students, oh, that's a very warm good evening to all of you as well. Great to have you all here. Yeah. So now, in today's class, we'll quickly have a look into what are the most important things that you should know with regard to your UPSC CSE preparation. How to make it more effective with regard to the time, the strategy and the effectiveness, so that in the very first attempt itself, you will be able to clear your examination. So now you all know that UPSC CSE examination, it is not just an exam. People say it is an exam. Yes, it is the most prestigious examination in the entire country, India. There is no doubt about it. But then I would tell you that this particular examination, it is a journey. UPSC is more than an exam. It is a journey which will redefine or which will transform the evolution of your personality. So in today's class, what are the tips, tricks and effective strategies that a serious UPSC CSE aspirant should keep in mind will be discussed, along with the general orientation perspective. Since all of you are from UPSC background, it is very well evident that you know that this particular examination, it has 3 different stages, right? Starting from what? Very good. Starting from the preliminary examination to the mains. The second is the mains examination and the third is the personality round or the interview test. If you clear all these rounds, then you become the so-called IAS, IPS or IRS officers. Indeed. So now, apart from this, we know that the eligibility criteria of this exam is, again, you should have completed 21 years of age and you should be a graduate. Whether BA, BSc, BTech, MBBS, doesn't matter. You should have a degree in your hand and you should have completed your 21 years of age. These are the basic things about UPSC, right? But now you all are here with regard to the mindset, okay, how to make your preparation more effective. As a beginner, when you start your preparation, do not worry. People keep on telling you, UPSC means you have to study day and night continuously 16 hours, 10 hours. Oh my God, no. That's a myth. In today's session, I will tell you how and why it is important to understand the reality of UPSC so as to break all the myths that are associated with UPSC. We will completely break all the myths that are associated with what? UPSC. So now to begin with, as a fresher or as a beginner, when you start your preparation, point You need to understand this is a journey, because whether you become IAS, IPS, IRS is secondary. But the moment you start appearing or preparing for UPSC examination, automatically you yourself will see a change within you. The way you think, the way you analyze, the way you behave, it all changes. That is the power of this particular UPSC journey. That is why I told you, it is not an exam, it is a journey worth cherishing for the entire lifetime. It will definitely make you a very, very successful individual in your life. And this is a journey, the UPSC examination, when people insult you, when people try to put you down, when people completely shatters you, it's okay. You will develop a mindset wherein when you are cut down into 1,000 pieces, you will have the confidence to come back and stick like a jelly, because this particular preparation will take you to that level. You will start feeling it. You think that, okay, studying is UPSC. No, that's not UPSC. Because today, this examination do not require bookworms. People who study, who by heart, who come, who write the exam. No. They need people or candidates who are quite smart, who are quite talented. UPSC do not require the best candidates. Then what do they require? Oh, what are you talking, ma'am? How can you say not the best? We should always try and aim to become the best, right? What do you think? What does UPSC require? How do they filter the candidates? Louder. Smart work? Okay. Bhavana, right? Bhavana has said smart work, okay? Yes, Trisha?
The capacity to understand the knowledge.
Capacity, okay? Yes, Dilip?
I think the evolution, how fast you evolve the situations.
Very good, very good. So now, here it goes, my students. I would love to call you all young officers. More than it cannot run as faster as a tiger. It cannot run as faster as a tiger. All these three animals are best in their own possible ways. But who is the king of jungle? Why? Why is lion the king of jungle? There is something more to it. Why? There should be some reason, right? So we can say that it has attitude, it is ferocious. Why? Elephant doesn't have attitude, tiger doesn't have attitude. They are also equally capable. But this animal called as lion stands out. So now, this animal lion is very ferocious in nature. It has a greatest quality called as patience and perseverance. And this animal never gives up. No matter whatever situation, it is able to strive through thicks and thorns and difficulties and move ahead or forward in life. Similarly, with regard to a UPSC CSE aspirant, it is not about the best or how best you are in your studies. It is about who can survive the difficulties, the challenges, the storms. So now, lion is called as the king of jungle because it is survival of the fittest. It is not about who is best, who can survive among the harsh conditions. That is what UPSC requires today. So now you tell me, my young officers, do you want to become the best or survival of the fittest? Very good. Because that is how UPSC is. Because UPSC gives you a social recognition, a kind of status which not only gives you money for the work you do, rather a huge responsibility that you have to contribute for your country India as eminent young bureaucrats who can change the entire Mother India as a whole. Are you ready for it? Yes. Wonderful. Yes, my online students, I can see your messages. Yes, Ajay, Arya, Habiba, yes, I can see all of your messages as well. Yeah, good. So now, having said that, when you start your preparation for UPSC, point number 1 is none other than starting with NCERT. This is something which everybody tells you, right? Start your preparations from the basic school textbooks. That is NCERT. You can make a note of it, children. You can make a note. You can take down your books and you can start writing. both offline as well as online students, okay? This applies to you people also. Yeah. The chat is disconnected. Just check the chat is disconnected. Why? Just connect it, so then they will be able to reply, right? You can connect it, the chat.
Okay, it is active.
No, don't disconnect the chat, I said. You can just connect it.
You want to type here?
No, you can connect the chat so the students can reply in this online. Yeah. Yes, good to go?
You can type it now. This is people. You can type it.
No, they can also interengage them with current affairs. Matters or not? So, start using the approach called as 3C method of approach. The first C stands for conceptual understanding. The first C stands for conceptual clarity or understanding, which means you should have a thorough understanding of the concepts that you study. And that comes from where? The NCERT, no doubt about it. And now, the second C stands with connecting this concept with the comprehensive part of the syllabus. I repeat, the second C stands for connecting it with the comprehensive part of the syllabus. And the third C stands for not just current affairs, rather it is trending current affairs. CA matlab current affairs, ठीक है? Rather it stands for trending current affairs. So now when you start your preparation, you take your NCERT textbooks, am I right? So now you study the concept. For example, let's take the case of economy subject. Class 9, chapter 1. That chapter is called as The Story of Village Palampur. It has 16 to 19 pages. How many hours it will take you to complete that? 1 hour? 45 minutes? It depends. At least more than 30 minutes. Am I right? Why? Why to waste your time? You are not studying for your school examination. Rather, you are preparing for what? UPSC CSE examination. So, don't waste your time. 1 hour, 2 hours reading the entire thing. That 1616 to 1919 pages, what you can do? You can literally minimize it and bring it to 7 minutes. Which means that study only the concepts or the keyword that is required with regard to what? UPSC CSE examination. For example, class 9 chapter 1 talks about Palampur. This is economy NCERT. Okay? It has a big story, which means that this particular chapter talks about a hypothetical or an imaginary what? Village. You tell me, will a village have all the facilities? Like good education, better medical facilities, high-ended metro, roads, rails and all? Definitely no. But that particular village chapter is shown with all the facility. This is to show you people that is how a society should be. You understand? From that you have cost? No. If somebody works, you have to pay them wages or salary. So labor gets factor income in the form of wages. To do the business or agriculture, you need money. Money. In economics, money is called as capital. You go to a bank, you go to your friend, nobody gives you money free of cost. I'll give you money, you pay me interest. So, capital receives factor income in the form of interest. With this land, labor, capital, when I as an entrepreneur do the production or the business, I end up earning profit or loss. Let's keep it profit. That's it. You're done with your class 9 chapter 1 concepts. Do you want to spend 1 hour? Absolutely not required. This is called as to the point exam oriented way of preparation. Is it clear? This is how you should study. Now, having said that, why you studied that? Because you want to know the basics. From this you came to know that there are 3 sectors of economy. Primary, secondary, tertiary. You know what is primary? Agriculture sector. And related activity. Like what? Farming, fishing, quarrying, mining, etc. Industry is what? Manufacturing sector. Tertiary is what? Service sector. Like transport, communication, service of a doctor, teacher, lawyer, etc. All these are what? Basic concepts. You will cover them in what? Your NCRT. It comes under conceptual clarity of what approach? 3C method of approach. But then, having said that, it is high time for you to connect this particular 3C method of approach with the comprehensive part of the syllabus. We all know that agriculture sector or industrial sector is exclusively what? One particular chapter in your prelims and mains. So once you are done with your concepts from NCRT, you will start connecting it with the prelims and main syllabus of your examination. That is called as comprehensive part, or connecting with what? The comprehensive part of the syllabus. After that, immediately, without even thinking, you will start connecting this basic conceptual topic with trending current affairs. For example, what is the contribution of primary sector towards India's growth or output? In simple terms, growth output we say, which means what is the contribution from agriculture sector to India's GDP? Is it high or low? If you see, as per the recent data, it was actually 21%. It came down to again 19%. Majority of Indian population depends upon agriculture. Even today, nearly 50%. But their contribution towards country's GDP, or in simple terms, country's growth is very, very less. It was only 17 to 18% in 2018-19 and all. Then slowly and gradually it increased to more than 20%. Now again it came down to 19%. This shows we need lot of improvements in the so-called agrarian sector. Similarly, your industrial sector, what is the contribution towards GDP? And similarly what? Your tertiary sector. So now right from the scratch, you are connecting this concept with what, children? With the trending current affairs. What is trending current affairs? I told you 3C method of approach. Conceptual clarity plus comprehensive part of syllabus plus trending current affairs. What is that?
What is going on in the country, like up to date?
Okay. Now, as far as UPSC CSE examination is concerned, you need not have a clear-cut idea as to what is last 2 years current affairs. Take care. You just need to know, for example, if you are appearing for 2026 examination, okay. Trending current affairs means only 1 year, last 1 year current affairs is required, nothing more than that. You need not study 2 to 3 years before current affairs, but you should have an understanding of the flow of events, what is happening. But for an effective preparation strategy, you just need to know only what? Last 1 year current affairs. If you are appearing for 2026 prelims, then 2025 June to 2026 April, this month current affairs is perfectly fine. This is called as trending current affairs. Now, Jan, Feb, March, April, May of 2025. They are important, but you need not have a thorough understanding in the context that you need not study like a monthly magazine or article. What you can do is, for a safer side, top 100 MCQs exclusively from the month of Jan, Feb, March, each month with a proper 360-degree coverage explanation. So what happens? You get to know what are the important. You start with highlights and use the 3C approach. Now, the next important thing is when you study something using the 3C method of approach, certain topics, for example, you studied about cyclones in geography, or you studied about earthquakes, or you studied about, let's say, inflation in economy. Now, what is inflation? Price rise. Today the price of tomato is 10 rupees. Tomorrow the price of tomato becomes 20 rupees. That is called as price rise. Technically we call it as inflation. That's it. Very simple. Nothing difficult. People make economy difficult. It is very easy. Now, having said that, when you study the concept, then the comprehensive part, and then the trending current affairs. Why is inflation high in the economy? All these things are current affairs, right? What are the most important PYQs? Both prelims and mains from that particular area. Quickly have a look into it. You should have your PYQs ready from 2013 to 2024. So now, then and there, you are able to understand what are the important keywords or what are the ways in which questions from this particular area or topic can come for the exam, or how they have asked it. So what happens? Instead of simply by hearting or studying the concept, using 3C approach, with regard to the exam point of view, you will start preparing. This makes it very easy for you to clear the examination. See, you are not here to get a degree or a PhD, please. You are only here to clear the examination. So your focus has to be in such a way. You understand? That is why this particular PYQ is also being said then and there. Otherwise what happens? You study everything. When you start doing the mock test or some test series, I do not know, madam, how are these questions being asked? I studied everything, but I am not able to answer. Why? Because when you studied, you didn't study properly. Hadn't you studied by incorporating or by including the PYQs then and there, you would have understood, okay, this is how questions come for exam. I have to prepare my content accordingly. There is something called as UPSC keyword. What is it? For example, one particular topic, again, I'll take inflation because everybody knows inflation, right? Price rise. There are 20 points of inflation. But as far as UPSC CSE is concerned, 20 points are not required for the examination. Only 5 solid killer points is needed for what? Is required with regard to your examination. Out of the so-called 20 points, you need to study only 5 solid killer points. They are called as UPSC keyword of that particular topic. For example, if it is inflation, what is inflation? Price rise. But what is UPSC keyword? Continuous or persistent rise in general price level. Second keyword is the types of inflation. Third keyword is causes for inflation. Demand pull, cost push. Fourth is inflation targeting by RBI to limit inflation. That's it. And what are the consequences of that? So now, when you kind of center your preparation towards these 5 solid keywords, the remaining 15 points automatically you will be able to understand. That is the beauty of UPSC CSE keyword pattern. Is it clear? So you need not study everything. Study 5 solid killer points from any topics. You will know the important points. Remaining 15 points, you yourself can do it because you know the base. You understand. That is another exam-oriented preparation or strategy for UPSC CSE examination. Is it clear? Is live okay? Everything fine? Or maybe I cannot see it here, right? Okay, the students are texting something? Not yet. Good. Sorry students, there was some error in the system here. I'm not able to see your chats. Anyways, don't worry. You can still put out your messages. I will definitely reply to it. Okay. I hope it is very clear till here. All my online students as well. Because I can see the offline. I can't see the online, right? So I have to keep asking you whether you are fine with whatever is being taken. Anyways, back to what I was discussing. Is it very clear the strategy? Now, when you prepare for UPSC, as a UPSC CSE aspirant, all the strategy is one part. There are certain qualities that you need to follow. One is you should have a great POM. Great POM, it's called as presence of mind. What is presence of mind? Having a greater focus. You should have a great presence of mind, which means no matter whatever things happen in and around you, your priority, your concentration, your focus, that has to be highly centric towards achieving your goals. That is very important because right from the preparation day to the day you write your prelims or mains examination, and to the daily bottom officer, without presence of mind, you can't excel. This is very, very mandatory. And the second quality is democratic attitude. That is, you should know how to talk, when to talk, and what to talk, and how to deal with situations. For example, I say, hey, all this class, no, I'm not going to do. And I say, hey, I'm very tired, you will please go and come back after some time. Which is better? The second one, right? What are you actually playing it? So this is better, the second one. That's called as attitude. Oh, there's issue in the mic. 1 second, students. Is there a problem? Yeah. Is it clear? Yeah. All good? Where did I stop? Preparation tips, right, exactly. So now along with these strategic preparation tips, you also need to keep in mind another approach called as triple T approach. I taught you 3C approach. We saw how it is, and we saw the NCERT perspective also. We saw the current affairs also in that, right? Now the next one is what? TTT or triple T approach. It is textbook, techniques, test series. Now you know what to study. You know how to study. Once you are done with NCERTs, you go to the comprehensive part of your syllabus and then the current affairs. So to study the comprehensive part of the syllabus from the 3C method of approach what I told you, you will start searching what? Textbooks. For one subject, there are n number of textbooks available in the market. Do you have time to go through everything? Some people will say go for A textbook, some will say B, some will say C, some will say D. Now, one textbook is not sufficient to cater to the requirement of a UPSC CSE aspirant. Choose a textbook based on simplification of content and market value. For example, in the case of polity, Lakshmikant is called as a god of polity textbook because all the articles are beautifully explained in that. Right? So there are certain textbooks that is unavoidable. So now certain textbooks you can buy, no doubt about it. But also keep a backup of another textbook. For one particular subject, it's not one textbooks, but please keep at least a minimum of 2 textbook references along with resources from internet. You have multiple websites, multiple sources, so please make sure that along with 2 textbooks of your studies, take a reference from the multiple websites. Let's say for example, Shah Academy has daily current affairs, they keep on updating or giving you study materials, you understand? So make sure that you follow that. Is it clear? And out of all this, you have to make your own handwritten notes. The handwritten notes made by you are called as treasures. They are treasures for the examination because you will read it, understand them, and then what do you do? In a very simplified, lucid language with the UPSC keyword, you will start writing it. So what happens? Writing once is equal to reading 10 times. So who benefits? You benefit. And before the examination, for revision purpose, compared to any textbooks or any websites, your own handwritten notes which you gather from every source will be of a great help. No doubt about it. You understand? So you should always keep this particular point in mind. So now, having said that, This is how a textbook should be chosen from the triple T approach. The next is what? Techniques. Now, techniques is a strategy with regard to your preparation. I told you the 3C method of approach to study a subject. Now, when you start solving the MCQs, that is your multiple choice questions for the preliminary stage, there are certain techniques or tricks that you should apply to clear those questions, right? Sometimes all the three options will look similar or statements will look similar. You will be confused whether to go for A or not to go for A or to go for B option, right? In such kind of situation, as far as prelims is concerned, there is a very simplified technique called as KEC technique. Keyword elimination comparison technique. I repeat, keyword elimination comparison technique. You can write it down. Yes? Now, when a question is given to you in the examination, consider the following statements about, again, let's keep it inflation only, inflation, or about cyclone, or about earthquake. Now, before reading 1, 2, 3 statements, your eyes should focus on what is the question asking you to identify. Which of the above statements are correct or incorrect or not correct? Because majority of students think that UPSC always asks you to identify correct statements and you miss out what? The last part. So before reading what is given in the heading of the question, see what is given below. Whether you should identify the correct or incorrect or not correct statements. So now this will enable you to prevent 99% of silly and careless mistakes. Because that is one major disadvantage that is seen among the aspirants, right? That is one thing. After that, you should go to the question. For example, consider the following statements about inflation or about monetary policy or about banking. Keeping that keyword, 1, 2, 3 statements are given, right? Start using the comparison technique to compare the keyword, whether those statements are connected or not connected. If you feel any one statement is not connected, eliminate it. Okay? And now, option A tells 1, 2. Option B tells 1, 2, 3. Option C tells 2 and 3. Option D tells only 3. So now if you feel option 1 is wrong means all the options or statement 1 is wrong means all the options having 1 fatafat eliminated. Okay, that's it. So automatically what happens? You're getting a clarity of what to choose and what not to choose. This is how keyword elimination comparison technique is utilized for prelims. Is it clear? That is your techniques. The mains answer writing. Again, you know everything about a topic, but within 150 words or 250 words, you have to finish what? Your answer writing. Some questions UPSC will ask you for 150 words. Some they will ask you for 250 words. What will you do? You have to prepare the structure of your answers accordingly. For that, there is a technique called as mains technique of memory, which means that whenever a question is given to you, do a postmortem analysis of the question. Identify the question of the mains examination. And now, start with the introduction. The introduction of your answer should not be more than 30 to 40 words. The introduction of any mains answer should not be 30 to 40 words. And then, whatever the question, start giving subheadings. That is introduction. Then it is called body of the answer. The body of the answer should have a subheading. And under the subheading, give points, bullet points. Now, when you keep doing this, it makes your exam paper look more attractive or more active or more catchy for the examiner. Is it clear? And now, every answer should have a proper conclusion. And this conclusion should never be one-sided. You cannot say, according to my point of view, this is how employment scheme should have been brought up or property scheme should have been brought up. No, do that. interview also, a lot more than the government, totally affected. So you should not blame the government. Rather, the very emphatic way I told you, you have to have a balanced approach because you're going to UPSC, you're going to bureaucrats, you can't go against the government, right? Your answer should not look one side or against them. So this is how technique that you use for the answer writing. And now the technique for interview. When you appear for the personality test, a nervousness is something that is quite popular among all the aspirants. By default, they'll become nervous and fear when they go for the interview session, right? But now, try to practice the art of smiling. When you go and attend the interview, in the front of the panel, along with the way you dress, your body, the way body movements or the way the body culture, whatever it is, along with that, you need to make sure that you are having a very pleasant or a smiling face. This will hide your nervousness and this will give you more confidence to answer properly. Here, it is not about how much of knowledge you have or how you can talk. It is about presenting the things in a very simple, clear and fearless manner. The way you communicate effectively with greater modulation, that is what the interview panel requires. Again, the quality I told you, presence of mind and diplomatic attitude, this will be taught in the interview as well. So make sure that you yourself. For what you should do, attend more debates, participate in more debates, execution, group discussion. So automatically your speaking skills or communicating skills keeps on improving. This will help you well in the interview round. Is it clear? Because everybody wants the best candidates. No one knows what the candidates today. So first, in the beginning. So you need to equip yourself like that. Yes. So now, techniques. One of the techniques of the means in the automatically SCDs means what? The practices. When you practice becomes easier. Once you have a technique of something, we read 8 topics per day, UPSC levels. That is called CNC. Is it okay? Just check. It's on. Okay, good. Let's stop. Look at me. Let me check your presence of mind. Huh? Believe is looking mad. You're official. here.
Yeah, once. It's quite delayed. It is quite delayed. Yeah, it is quite delayed.
Anyways. No, the streaming happens a little slow, right? I think you're not feeling that. The mic was audible before. Yeah, that much better before, I think.
Actually, your battery issue.
No, no. What I'm asking is, previously it was better. It was not flickering. Red color is working? No, no. Red color is working or white color is working?
White.
White is working. Okay. It's okay. You're able to hear? Yeah. You're still waiting and checking. Good? To go? No. So kind of topics you can refer? Live Mint. So the Hindu, the Indian Express, the PIB, Press Information Bureau, the DT, Down to Earth, and Live Mint. These are the various sources. But you tell me, as an aspirant, will you have time going to all these sources? No. Maybe for validating the data, you can check. So what you'll do, there are so many resources available online. Many websites or platforms, institutions. For example, even Shah Academy has daily current affairs classes. Nowadays, people started teaching you the newspapers. So rigorously follow any one source. For what? For current affairs classes. Start taking down the notes. And what you should do in that particular thing. For example, in Shah Academy, you have the DNA, daily news analysis classes there. Attend it without fail. Take the notes, the PDF, and make your own notes. I'll tell you how to make own notes also. There is a technique for that to simplify current affairs. Now, before this, you as an aspirant, I will not say that completely ignore the newspaper. Don't do that. You have to improve what? Your language, the way you talk, the way you write your mains answers also, right? And even for the interview, you need to have very good language. Take the Hindu newspaper. And what you do is, take the editorial article. Now, what you do is, in this particular editorial article, when you read initially, you will not even understand anything. I guarantee you that. Because the usage of words, English words, is a little difficult. It is of the text language. It is not simple. So what will you do? Start keeping a dictionary beside you or your phone next to you. Open the vocabulary and start finding out the meanings. So now, in a newspaper, when you open the newspaper, not every single page of your newspaper is important. The number one important page is editorial page because it has a detailed article. There will be 4 to 5 articles one day. But the 4 to 5 articles is not required for you. You need to select only 2 article. You will learn the art of selecting all as the class proceeds. And then just have a look into the front page headlines. What are the topics, what are the areas? You understand? Now, news or articles based on books, based on cinema or entertainments are not required for you. For general you go through. But for basic, you will not have questions pertaining to the particular area. Is it clear? What to read? Is it clear? That's to be fast. Now, having said that, you look at newspaper, you understand what to read from which chapters to read. But there should be strategy or method to simplify it. Right? So now, the most effective or simplified way of preparing current affairs goes like this. There are 4 keywords to be noted. Whenever an article is being taken or whenever you read an article, what you should do is take a pen, take a paper next to you, keep it next to you. From the introductory part of that article, the first question that you need to ask yourself is, why is this particular topic in news? Or what is the context of this particular topic? When four questions are important. You have to make note of the news article based on 4 questions. What is strategy? What is this particular topic in news? Or the context of this particular topic? For example, have you heard of goods and service tax? Goods and service tax, GST, compensation tax, cess-based tax on tax. So now, when you take this topic, how do you take it? No need to take it easily. Just why are you studying it? Why the particular topic in news? Because the central government and state government have a general or conflict with regard to the revenue for indirect tax called GST. GST compulsory cess was introduced. Not more than 20 to 30% you get that particular answer. Is it clear? So, initially, what is particular topic in news? After that, before going to the issue told you before, when you study a current affairs or a concept, the method of engaging becomes very vital or very important. Having said that, this particular GST composition says it is a static word, right? So to quickly brush up your clarification after reading what this particular topic used for present you wrote. Immediately go to notebooks or websites and use GST. Measures. That is how you prepare current affairs. Start with what topic news or the context of the topic. After that, you will come to the details. After justifying the question, after preparation for UPSC, after plans, how to choose my professional subject. What are the use? The second stage, comprehensive examination. It has 7 papers. 5 journal papers and 7 papers. You get a subject based on interest as your optional paper. There is a list of optional papers starting from agriculture to zoology. Right? From papers you are like that. Now, as a UPSC aspirant, when you choose one optional subject that you should take the current examination, keep taking exam. What is the subject of your interest? Is history interest geography interesting for you, social interesting for you. You can't make the decision before completing the major subjects like history, geography, politics, economy. Any institute. Today, you will find the class to complete.
History and geography is there for males also, right?
Yes,
It's there for optional also. So that portion will be different for optional and
interest, right? Similarly, your genes because between GS history and personal history. So I said that when you start selecting or choosing what interest you. If you don't have an idea to take any subject, attend the classes of GS, history, geography, politics, then you have a choice. For example, one topic for history, let's say Indian civilization, or geography, cyclones or something. Now, this topic, how much time candidate you take to study it? Is it taking 15 minutes or 30 minutes? Some subjects you can study faster because the daily subject even so if let's say so see how many minutes you take to complete one subject that shows your interest. Choose one particular question, most important question, and start to study it. Physics, history, and start writing concepts and see whether you're able to do justice to what you studied. Because interest is the most important Those